Of all the contentious policies of the Labor Party, the one that has many people spooked most is capital gains tax.
Stop that.
Jim Chalmers also proposed taxing unrealised gains.
I mean, this legislation is appalling.
Stop that. I hear 'em chatting the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking.
We've had legislation, it's been before the Parliament, and that's our policy.
Tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you want to touch
They just left the building. They never entered the building. So 11:45, 22nd of July, that was supposed to be ticked off, approved, and nothing. I called up at least 10 accountancy firms, went online, couldn't find anything, but it has been deferred and they haven't given a date. And I think what's happened is that there's been so much backlash from the public about it, and that they've kicked it down the road because it may give them more time to revisit the impact to the position of the Labor Party. That's what I think. By not passing it, it's a bit like that power bill. We get it on Friday in the mail, we'll worry about it Monday, or any bill. I think what they'll do is, from what I understand, speaking to certain politicians that I know extremely well, will be, it's on the table, it's been tabled, it's been voiced, and the introduction date may be deferred. I heard that yesterday from a very good source that told me that it may be pushed back into next year.
No, what I'm not doing is changing policy at the National Press Club.
The worst public speaker that I've ever seen at the helm, the top job, is Anthony Albanese. He could be the worst public speaker I've ever seen in my life. He's all over the place, doesn't ask the question. He can't wait to get it, dodge the question. He doesn't know the answers to most of them. Sharma's the same thing. I think they've run out of ideas of actually how to, let's tax the rich because that's the easiest approach. And it hasn't been well thought through. And as I said on previous podcast, who are these people that come up? What are their names of the individuals that come up with these concoctions? I mean, is it just a whiteboard and 3 bottles of red? I mean, what are they thinking? And particularly on whatever that outcome may be, is to be able to communicate to the public. I mean, we all bought in, for better or worse, the lockdown policy, the vaccination policy, whether you were or not vaccinated, that we all sort of teamed together because it was a pandemic. And it was painful, but by the same token, that none of that's come about. There was more dialogue on a daily basis from Andrews about the pandemic and what time you could be home under the curfew than what there has been under the national savings of $4.2 trillion. Now, why is that? I find that interesting. Our national savings, and we had a daily update from Dan on how things were progressing on the COVID numbers. I just find it fascinating. Generally speaking, they're weak. They're weak, the worst communicators, and what's even more fascinating, the Liberal government are sitting there like a toad in a rock and not taking advantage or positioning themselves on these very issues.
If you want to destroy innovation, if you want to destroy entrepreneurial, and what is Australia all about? It's about giving people a chance to have a go. And this is what it's destroying.
And look, the unrealised gains tax for that 3 million, once you click over that, the impact is not all that great. When you actually, it's the ones that kick on and there's no indexation. That's why people are upset about it. So it hasn't been explained well, even on a whiteboard, on a slide by the 101. He hasn't done any of that. This will be happening and we're going to do that and that's the way it's going to be, and unfortunately that's how Probably don't want to hear that. This has been poorly sold, poorly administrated. I mean, and yet they're frightened to walk away from GST. GST should be going to 12%. We're all in it together. It's a consumption tax. We've been at 10% since 25 years, quarter of a century, and we're the lowest in the world. We should move. I could sell that to the public, and it's a consumption tax. We need to move up because we need the money to build this country. Simple message. Tax on earnings on the wealthy should have gone to 15 to 20%. Unrealised gains and getting penalised on something you haven't sold is terrifying for people. And that's why I said last time, and I'll say it again, the concern if you do it here, please don't tell us you're going to bring that and adopt that principle to family trusts. We get penalised on something we haven't sold.